Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 119 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to have many different twists and turns that will lead to many different changes to the prequels and the originals for the Star Wars fans around the world by Disney and Lucasfilm. And on top of all of this, we do know that this movie is going to really take a lot of different risks while also implementing many different pieces of nostalgia in this film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense between both Rey, Kylo Ren, and even Darth Sidious. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence based in the third act of the film where it's described that both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting the Dark Acolyte, who is controlled by the Sith spirit of Sidious. Now, it's actually said that all of this happens where there is a moment in which Rey and Kylo Ren lock blades with Sidious, where his new lightsaber is actually said to be used against them, where they are all standing now on a piece of the Death Star 2 wreckage in the middle of the ocean during a rainstorm. It's explained that this is where Palpatine begins to use the Force alone to levitate a large chunk of the Death Star wreckage in mid-air, where now Rey, Kylo, and Palpatine are fighting on top of a piece of wreckage of the Death Star 2, around 200 feet in the air over the ocean. It's said that Palpatine uses the power of the Beyond to lift such a massive piece of the Death Star, where the sequence includes many prequel trilogy choreography between Kylo, Rey, and Sidious that makes the saber fight very fast-paced. The sequence is also said to involve a moment in which 3 massive Star Destroyers that make their way through hyperspace from the unknown regions that are now said to be above in the distance and are said to be secret forces of Palpatines that have been in hiding for decades. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9, at the end of the day, is going to be a film that's going to have a lot of action-packed scenes in this movie, as well as a lot of emotional moments. Now, I want to go over this wide-scale scene that is said to take place in the middle of the ocean on this unknown world, Endor moon. We're still not quite sure on whether or not this is indeed the forest moon of Endor, or if this is a different planet overall, where the Death Star wreckage actually resides on. Now, this is actually said to be a sequence in which both Rey, Kylo, and Sidious are fighting each other to the death, a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel, if you will, where we do in fact have the alliance between both Rey and Kylo Ren trying to take down this greater evil, where Palpatine is said to actually use the power of the Beyond itself, a power that is said to be far greater than the dark side, that is able to let him lift a large chunk of the Death Star 2 wreckage in mid-air, roughly 200 feet above the ocean itself, where both Rey, Kylo, and Palpatine are fighting using their sabers on top of this wreckage while they're actually fighting on top of the wreckage in mid-air. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this actually sounds pretty amazing and epic. The way that it's going to be shot really is going to be also very impressive, because we do know that this particular scene was actually filmed in IMAX and 3D. Now, that's going to be by far, I think, one of the most satisfactory moments in the film, where people buy their IMAX tickets or buy their IMAX 3D tickets and they go ahead and see this film. You know, it's all about those wide-scale moments such as this. In fact, at the very end of the Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer, we do see Rey and crew looking out to the wreckage of the Death Star, and that was basically a little piece of foreshadowing of what's actually to come between both Rey, Kylo, and Palpatine, etc. Now, not only that, during this scene, it's actually said that multiple Star Destroyers are actually said to make their way through hyperspace and are actually said to reveal themselves in the sky in the distance, where they are actually said to originate from the hyperspace routes that actually link up to the unknown regions. And that's a very interesting point, though, is that these Star Destroyers are actually said to be a part of Palpatine's forces that have been in hiding for decades. Now, could this very well have something to do with the Sith troopers being red? Is it very well possible that Palpatine called his version of the stormtroopers Sith troopers? That's a very big possibility for sure. So on top of all of this, we do know that this film is going to have a lot of action-packed moments just like this. In fact, even John Boyega said just around a year ago that this movie is going to be an all-out war, and a war to end all wars, and that many sacrifices will come along with this movie. So that could very well mean the loss of Poe, Finn, or even Chewbacca for all we know. A lot of things are set to happen in this film that are going to be very emotional for the fans, and of course very emotional for our characters based in this Star Wars film that's going to end the Skywalker saga right here and now. Now with that being said, Palpatine really is going to be the center. He's going to be the focus of this movie from start to finish. His actual presence is actually going to grow from the very beginning and is going to blossom at the very end of episode 9. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.